Hello friends, so I will discuss the second part of this project, employee attendance tool. So till now I have discussed what is this project all about. So as I discussed in the last video in the sales application, I have added one LWC, which is nothing but a employee attendance tool. So if I am choosing the current date, so the data will be one data table will be rendered. And inside this data table, there are two column employee name and attendance. Attendance is nothing but a checkbox, and when I'm saving this details, so all of these details of employee name and attendance is getting saved in a Salesforce object. So I created one date object as well as one employee object. So I think I've not shown to you that. So today is 7th of December and I'm just clicking save. Okay. So now if I go to my org, okay, and date is an object, okay, where this date will be saved with this name. So the date record will be saved with this name, 7 December 2023. So 7/12/2023 is the date, and the related tab, we created the lookup relationship with this employee attendance object, and you can see there are the four records. So as soon as you click the save button, so this detail will get saved, and if you open this I use, right, you can see employee status has been checked because I choose this as in true, and if I choose as in Gagan, so this is false, right? So in this project, we are just taking the name or employee name from the metadata, and when the user provides the input and click the save button, then we are saving all the details in Salesforce object in the relationship of data and employee attendance object. Okay. So now I will start how we have basically completed the development of this. Okay, so again, I will just show you the metadata, how we are just fetching the data. Okay, this is the custom metadata, and in this is the custom metadata, and we are just created this for record. This is nothing but the employee name, and this employee name is coming uh, in this particular column. Okay, so from the starting, if I refresh this, so this is my LWC. Okay, so in the UI part, you see, right, initially when I render this refresh this page, so this date calendar used to come, right, and this text, strong text is coming. So how you can configure this? So I just use this lightning card, and inside this lightning card we have used this strong tag and given this particular text, right? Please set the date to provide the employee details. And after that, this is a calendar, right? So for calendar we have used a lightning input. The type of this lightning input is date, so that's why it's coming as an calendar, because I've chosen this as a date. And we have just given the padding so that this should be appropriate render on the screen. Okay. So first thing is that when I choose the future date, one validation is coming, right? The value must be 7 December or earlier. Means it should be either the today or it should be less than today. So for that, for the validation purpose, we have basically given this reference of today in the maximum. So maximum date that I choose is today. But to provide this value of today, you have to basically properly provide the today date, because this date, right, this date, today's date is not coming in the proper format. So that's why I use this slice method and create one today variable. Okay, inside the connected callbacks, once the component get loaded, it's giving us a proper format of the today date, and then this today we are giving the reference in the maximum date. So maximum date that I can choose in the calendar is today. That means I cannot choose more than today. So that's why this error is coming when I'm choosing any future date. Okay. And as soon as I choose a today date, right, what is doing, it's basically rendering the data table. So here I basically created two data table. If you go to the HTML, inside there, this is the first lining card, and we are basically checking two tag whether it's true or not. Okay. So if it's selected today, okay, then I'm giving this data table, showing this data table. When the show updated table tag is true, then I'm showing this data table. Okay. As of now, this tag is getting true. Okay. This tag, and this data table is getting rendered. Okay. And if I choose Okay, so and if I choose, let's suppose that I moved from 7 to 8, and I'm choosing this 8. Okay, tomorrow is a 8, and at the tomorrow only I choose this 8. In that case, means for the 8th of December, there is no record has been saved in the date object, right? It means nobody has done any updation or insertion of the record, because it's a fresh record that you have to create, right? As of now, I'm choosing this already, the record has been saved because I already submit the save button. That means record is already saved. But now I wanted to make the updation. That means we have to update the record which is in the date object. But if I'm tomorrow, I just log in at a 10 a.m. At that time, no record will be there in the background because it's a new date. That means the new data table should come with all the checkbooks as an null. So for that reason, I create two data table. If there is no record in the Salesforce, that means this data table should be rendered. If there is a record, means there is record available in the Salesforce, then this data table should be rendered. Okay. So this is how I have configured this one. So okay. Now go to the JS. So now when I choose any date, right? So how this data table is getting rendered and how it's taking the data. Okay. So initially when there is no data available in the background, it's basically what it's doing is it's basically calling is basically rendering this data table. And for this data table, what is happening, we are taking the column names, right? So this column name is nothing but coming from the metadata. So if I go to my developer console, I just wrote a simple Apex class, which is this is the OR enabled cacheable true, and I'm calling this method, and this method is returning me this metadata record. This metadata record. You can see this is the metadata, so it's returning me this records value. Okay, so I'm basically, this is the method. You can see get get employee name is the method, and this is the class, and this is the method, right? Get details is the method. So I'm just calling this. I am importing this method, and in the wire operator, right? So in the wire call, I'm just calling this method, and then I'm fetching the data, and then assigning the all the data that I've received. I am assigning this into this data. Okay, so you can see I must be declared the records. I think just a second. Yeah, so whatever the data is coming, I'm assigning to the record. So this records I have just declared over here. Here you can see, yeah, at the starting of the LWC, I have just declared this records, and this records and reference I'm giving over here. So whatever the data that I have to show in the data table, okay, in this data table, uh, this data table. So this is the employee name, and now I have to show the data, right? So data will become from the records, and this records is coming from one Apex class, and this is that Apex class. And how we are getting the data from the Apex class? Using the wire operator. So this is the wire operator, right? This is the wire operator. We are just calling the method. It is returning us the data, and then whatever the data is coming, we are assigning to the records, and this records reference has been given to the lightning data table. Okay, I hope this makes sense. And in the column, we have given two columns, right? Employee name and attendance. So here you can see the column we have declared, const column. We are giving the label, employee name and attendance, and data will be coming from this field, label and name. So metadata field is, if I go to the metadata, right? It's returning name and label, right? It's returning us, it's returning us label and name. If you scroll up, you can see it's returning us label and name. And the same reference we are given in the data table. So as soon as I choose the date, okay, as soon as I choose the date, so in the date you can see there is a handler called on change, right? So as soon as I change the date, so as soon as I change the date, let's suppose that I just click 6. So as soon as I change the date, it basically fire this event, okay. And for this event, we have on change event, we have data change handler. So I create the data change handler. So as soon as I click this, Date 6, it basically call this handler, and inside this handler I am basically making the value. I'm just making this value, so you can see the value. Just a second. Yo, this value, selected date true. So I'm just making this selected date true. Okay, so as soon as I am hitting this, I'm changing this calendar 5. Okay, so it's basically calling this handler because it's a on change handler, and inside this handler, uh, inside this handler I am making this variable selected today true, and this, as soon as this selected become true, has been updated, it's making this condition true and rendering this data table, right? So if I refresh this page again, I will try to make you understand. So as soon as I choose this 5, right? As soon as I choose this 5, this table is running. Why this table is running? Because I'm when I'm changing the date, it's firing the on change event, and inside the on change event, we are handling in the date change event handler, and inside the change event handler, we are making this tag as an true, and this tag true rendering this data table. So you can see this, right? And wire class is fetching the data. I use Rohit Akansha from the metadata. This is how we are running the data table. But if I choose attendance and save this, there is another method which is saving the data inside the Salesforce in this object, right? In the date object. Okay. And inside the date object, and then whatever the metadata columns are there, I'm saving each each employee detail in the each record of this employee attendance. Okay. So that's another part. I will discuss that part in the third video. So till then, stay tuned. And if you have any query, you can comment down, and please subscribe my channel if you wanted to watch some new videos related to the Salesforce. Thank you.